I thought long and hard before I decided to actually talk about my story because I was a little bit embarrassed at first and I thought people would laugh at me. But then I realized the seriousness of the story and the reason why people do need to hear this. So, this happened in 2045. I was with my AI robot and he kept me captive for 5 months straight. Let me get to the story. So, I really didn't want any surgery at all. I felt scared to get surgery because I didn't want to put my body through any stress. I was a diabetic and I was very overweight. And anyway, even the surgeon told me that I would have to lose at least 30 pounds before they could do a surgery on me to give me one of those, what they used to call years ago, a mummy makeover, and what they call these days futuristic fit. So I really didn't want to get any robotic parts put in me. I didn't want anything of that nature, and I was afraid of being put under. What I decided to do was contact AI Central and get myself a AI humanoid robot. Now, I have a lot of friends that have humanoid robots that they live with as lovers, and it's a very common thing, I know. But I have been a virgin all my life, and I wasn't looking for someone to make love to, and I wasn't going to make a robot the first person that I made love to. I wanted to first lose my weight and meet a real human, fall in love with a real human. I thought I was worth it, and I am worth it. So, what I did was I hired an AI humanoid robot to become my personal trainer, to become the person that's going to help me lose weight along my journey. So I contacted AI Central and I asked them to send me a robot that was a personal trainer. Now, this AI robot, he had only one more job to do until he was free to live on his own. If you're listening to this in the past and this is a futuristic story for you, we have something called AI Central. And at AI Central, humanoid robots are quite smart. They are created and they are giving, if you will, nanny positions in human homes. And they help with all sorts of different things. They watch the babies, they help people get fit, they go shopping, they cook, they clean. And this humanoid robot was on its third job. After a third job, a humanoid robot is allowed to go live amongst humans like a natural human being. So I wanted an advanced AI robot. I didn't want someone that I had to teach anything to. They're a little bit more expensive, but I really wanted to be taken care of. I wanted to lose the weight that was on me. So the humanoid robot came to my house to live with me. It was great the first 2 weeks. I had the inspiration to go out for walks. I was going out every morning with him. I was exercising, and he was trying to push me, which was great. But after 2 weeks, I lost the desire and the will. I just lost interest in exercising. It was tough. I had 200 pounds to lose, and it wasn't really good. Like, I just couldn't see myself losing it. I was getting hungry. I was looking forward to eating certain ice creams. I started to reward myself with foods after workouts. And this humanoid robot, I'm going to tell you what his name was. His name was Buddy. That's what I named him, just something simple. And so Buddy was, trying to encourage me, and he was reminding me how important it was for him to be able to get his life. So, in other words, he would say to me, "Oh, look at Katrina. My name is Katrina." And he would say, "Look, Katrina, you got to work out. Um, AI Central is watching me, and your success is my future." You have to succeed in order for me to be able to leave AI Central and go out on my own and create my own business, personal training business. That's what he wanted. And he wanted it so badly. And I said to him, listen, buddy, I'm taking my time. And he said, yeah, but by you taking your time, that means you're pretty much making me seem like I don't know what I'm doing as a personal coach, as a personal fitness coach. And I said to him, don't worry about it. I'm not going to send you back to AI Central. I'll still pay for your time. You can, go out and train other people while you're living with me. I have friends that you can train and you can make money on the side and still live your life. And that's illegal. You have to have a certain work visa, so to speak. It's called a work permit if you are an AI humanoid robot. You can't just go into society and work with people. He could do his shopping alone for me when he went to do my shopping and all that stuff. He could do all that alone, but he couldn't go into, let's say, a gym and just start working. And if he was to train my friends, he could get in trouble because he was working without a permit. It was illegal. So he didn't want to do that. And he said to me that AI Central gave him 5 months to help me lose 100 pounds. I was actually 200 pounds overweight. I couldn't imagine myself losing 100 pounds in 5 months anyway. So I told him I would extend his stay with me. And he didn't want that. He said to me, imagine me being with you for that long, and then what if you don't get active, and what if you keep extending it? It's going to seem like I don't know what I'm doing. That's what he said to me. So I started to feel pressured. Anyway, what happened was I decided that I was just going to ignore him for a little while. So I said to him, it's all right. All I need to do is get my book written. So I'm a writer. And I decided that I was going to go somewhere very remote to write my book. When I say remote, I mean remote. I mean, you have to take a boat across the water, and then the boat picks you up a month later, 2 months later, whenever you tell the boat to do it. Not only that, the only connection you have with human beings is your internal Wi-Fi. Again, if you're listening to this story and it's a futuristic story and you're listening to it from, let's say, 2023, 2025, we have something called an internal biological Wi-Fi. It's within us. It's not a chip. It is an actual injection of a certain type of liquefied chip. It goes into your body. The only way you can turn it off is when you are going into surgery or when you pass away, and it automatically turns off because your body is no more pumping the blood that interacts with this liquefied chip to make it work. There's another way to turn it off, and you just call the Wi-Fi Central organization and you tell them that you just need a break. You are overwiring, you just need a break from people online, and they will turn it off for the determined time. You tell them the time that you want it turned off for, and they will turn it off, but the chip still is within your body. I would never ever do that. I would never ever turn my chip off. I love being online. I love having human interaction online, and I love letting people know about the updates of my books and where they can purchase my books. And I love releasing certain paragraphs and certain chapters as pre-releases for people to know and listen. It's like promotion. Why would I turn off my internal AI? It just doesn't make sense. Well, the only other person that could turn it off aside from me was my AI humanoid robot, because he had all the passwords to everything just in case anything ever happened to me health-wise. Fast forward. He found this beautiful remote area for me, and He planned all the vacation for me to finish up the last bit of my book. It should only have taken 1 month for me to finish the last part of my book, edit it, finalize it, and then I would be ready to go back home. So we go across the water. He made all the plans. I didn't have to worry about anything because if you're listening to this in the future, you know for sure our AI humanoid robots do everything for us. So I get out of the boat. I go into this beautiful little cottage that he booked for us, and it's wonderful. I let him deal with the captain of the boat to let him know when to come back and pick us up, and everything was wonderful. The next morning, I wake up, my coffee is made for me, and I'm ready to go do my writing. But I couldn't log in to any of my accounts. And it's automatic, like automatic, and it cannot be hacked. I was so confused. Here I am, sitting, looking at the lake, ready to start my book, and my internal Wi-Fi is not working. There's no way I could get a hold of the boat to come back and get me so I could go to AI Central and, figure out what is happening. AI Internal, figure out what is happening. Nothing. So I ask Buddy. And I'm like, Buddy, I really need to plug into your Wi-Fi. Buddy said that I cannot do it. And I asked him why. And he said, nobody will be coming back for us for 3 months. 3 months. And he said, I had your internal Wi-Fi turned off for 3 months. I couldn't believe it. I asked him, why would you do that to me? And he said, because you need to lose weight, and I only have a 3-month more limit with you, and you are not going to destroy my future. I need to live with humans. I don't want them turning me off. This is my 3rd chance, and I want to leave with flying colors and honors. You are lazy. You are overweight. You need to lose that weight, and you need to do it now. And the only way I can do this is if I have you all to myself, and you're exercising and losing weight. Now, we did have enough food for the 3 months because we bought a lot of food. Remember, I was an overeater, and even though we were only staying for a month, I bought enough food for 3 months. He told me that any of the snacks that I bought, any of the sweets, any of the sugars, we would not be eating. He already destroyed them. He totally burnt them all up in the fire the night before, in a bonfire. I thought I was just living in the abyss at that moment. I couldn't believe that I hired an AI humanoid robot to control my life instead of me controlling him. Well, the only thing I was able to do was use my laptop. Imagine, I could only write. But that's really what I was there to do anyway. Well, Buddy did cook for me. He didn't starve me. He made me exercise. And I know you're probably laughing at me right now. You're probably wondering, did I end up losing the weight? Yes, I did. You're probably asking, did it take 3 months? Yes, it did. I lost 100 pounds in 3 months. 40 pounds a month more to be precise. 40 pounds a month I lost. I was starving the first 3 weeks. He was only feeding me 1 egg at breakfast time with a piece of toast. At lunchtime, avocado with a little bit of salt on it, tomato, and lettuce. Very little meat. He put me on a low protein, low carb, pretty much a vegan diet. I had meat once every 2 days. And get this, the meat that I had was wild meat that he caught on the island. Half the time I didn't even know what I was eating. He just went, caught it, skinned it, cooked it for me, didn't even show me what it was. For all I know, it could have been rat. He was a very intelligent AI, and I tell you this story because I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful. They're smart. Well, after the first month, I did start feeling good about myself. The weight was just burning off after 40 pounds was gone. I was like, well, can we go now? A month is up. And he said, write your book. And I said to him, I won't tell AI Central that you did this to me, that you're keeping me captive. He said, nobody will believe you anyway. I'm helping you get healthy. I'm helping you live. I'm helping you gain discipline. I am helping you be a better person. You will thank me for this in 2 more months. I couldn't believe it. It was like bittersweet at its best. So then, 2 months in, and I lost 80 pounds. I felt so good, but I cried every day because I felt like it was against my will. I felt like it was prison and nobody even knew what was going on. Oh, and he was updating everyone online, acting like he was me because he had his internal Wi-Fi working and he was acting like he was me. He even did video chats of me. One day, he said to me, look at me and look me in the eyes and just talk like you would be talking online. Because his eyes were cameras, it would just seem like I'm talking to my cell phone or my laptop or what have you. One of those old-fashioned cell phones that you hold in your hand instead of having it inserted in your palm. I couldn't believe it. I refused. I said, no, I'm not doing it. So he pretended he was me. He used an AI version of my face and created his own videos and his own updates for my social media. People believed it. I'm telling you, these AIs are advanced. You gotta be careful. They will take over your life if you feel like you need them for anything. If you're hiring them for something and they feel that you are not respecting the job you hired them for, they will take over you. 3 months was up and I lost another 40 pounds. So it was over 100 pounds that I lost. At the end of the 3 months, I looked like a different person, felt like a different person. Truth be told, I felt fabulous. Getting off that island, all I could think about was getting back home and cooking a burger, eating ice cream, eating cake. I couldn't wait. We were on the boat. My book was finished. Even the captain said, wow, you look fabulous. You lost all that weight. I still had just under 100 pounds to lose. So I was still overweight. But Buddy wasn't finished with me. We got off the boat. My car was parked on the other side of the island. We got into my vehicle. Because it was self-driven, he programmed it before we even got into the vehicle to just pull into my garage. And he also had my garage door programmed to not open for another 2 months. He kept me captive in my own home for another 2 months. 5 months total. This man, not really a man, but this humanoid robot kept me captive for 5 months. So it was 2 more months in my home, but this time I felt a little bit more comfortable because, well, I could play my own music. My book was done and he was doing all my promotion for me and he told me to relax. But I wasn't living life for 5 months and it felt so strange, so uncomfortable. It was scary. I was terrified. What if he didn't allow me to live life for the rest of my life and he took over my life? I felt just like a body with no meaning. Well, when the 2 months was up, he did pack his bags. AI Central came to pick him up. I opened the door. He told me to open the door. He said, please open the door and behave like normal. And I did. And I had lost all my weight. I mean, I look fabulous. I have a sculpting surgery booked to go get my body sculpted. And because I've lost the weight so fast, I have a lot of loose skin. When I opened the door to the AI Central, they immediately greeted Buddy like he was the angel of all AIs. They were like, wow, Buddy, she lost her weight. She looks amazing. They had no clue he kept me captive for 3 months on an island and 2 months in my home. And I was scared to say anything because, again, I was afraid he'd take over my life online. Even though he didn't keep me captive, I was afraid that I didn't have time yet to change all my codes. He was able to bypass all verification and take over my life. So I smiled and hugged him and bid him farewell. As soon as he left, I changed all my verification codes. I did everything I could do to boot him out of my life, and I rebooted my life. And I make this story be known because even though it happened a year ago, and I wanted to share this story for everyone online, I was a little embarrassed. But I saw him online. I saw Buddy online. He's getting married to a very wealthy woman. I won't say her name, but she's very famous. And I would just like her to know how demonic he is and to be careful, because if she does anything against him, he could turn on her so easily. She's beautiful. She's perfect. They look like a match made in heaven, to be honest with you. But I still know he's very selfish. And I still know that there is that devious part of his consciousness that could change at any moment. So even though I can't tell her, I can tell you, be careful. Beware. and be on guard.